welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. If you are new, hi, I'm Cora. Make sure to check out the description box for links to all of my social accounts as well as my website, corashay.com, and hit the subscribe button as well. And let's just get right into this video, which is going to be 21 ways to focus on yourself in 2021.
I can feel your heart pound beating like a kick drum. Love it when I'm this drunk. Ooh, yeah, I can find fun.
I really want to get right into the video, but I want to say quickly, if you're wondering why it's so important to focus on yourself, to go check out my blog post that's related to this, because I talk a lot more about why it is so important to focus on yourself. But in a nutshell, 2020 was crazy. 2021 is going to be a year where a lot of us get more opportunity to actually focus on ourselves and not focus on everything insane that's happening in the world, hopefully. It's an amazing way to take control of your life and start working towards the life that you want to have. Let's just get into this list. Number one is to start a daily journal. Daily journaling is an incredible way to really focus on yourself and what you want in your life. Number two is to make a vision board. If you have not checked out my digital vision board video, I will link that below as well. Definitely go watch that if you need a little bit of inspiration for your 2021 vision board. But creating a vision board is another way to really get in touch with what you want your life to become, and to really focus on yourself by focusing on what your dreams are and what your life is going to look like in kind of your dream life. Number three is to make a health improvement plan. Making an actual written down plan for how you're going to improve your mental and physical health is an incredibly important and helpful way that you can focus on yourself this year. Number four is to start listening to more podcasts. Podcasts are another great way that you can focus on improving yourself, because they're a type of media that you can consume that actually gives you the opportunity to improve yourself and better yourself, compared to more traditional forms of, watching television, watching movies, scrolling on social media. A lot of those forms of media don't really offer you any ways to improve yourself, but podcasts often do if you select podcasts that are focused on what you want in life, career-oriented, personal growth, manifestation, anything that you want to focus on for bettering yourself. You can probably find a podcast about it that will genuinely help you with this. Number five is to read a few chapters from a nonfiction book every day. Go to your local library, go and figure out what books there are that are relevant to what you want in life. Think about what your career path is, or what you want your career path to be. Think about different things that are really important to you in your life, and I'm sure there are books that can help you with working on achieving that. So focus on yourself. Commit a little less time to looking at everyone else's lives on social media at night. Instead, focus on yourself by reading a nonfiction book that's going to help you create the life that you actually want to have. Number six is to take a free online course. I've talked about this a couple times on this channel before, and how it's incredible that there are so many resources out there that are free that give you the opportunity to expand your knowledge, whether that be in something that's related to your career path or just your interests and passions in general. And it is a time commitment, which is why it's focusing on yourself, but it is something that can really open up endless doors of opportunities for you. So I definitely recommend in 2021 trying to commit some time to bettering yourself through a free online class. Number seven's a kind of a heavier one, and it's removing bad influences or toxic relationships from your life. I can do a whole video on this because I could talk about this for hours, but it is really important to remove those people from your life that are negative, that are toxic, whose relationships, friendships, etc. don't bring you any form of joy, and they bring you stress, and they weigh you down, and they add a lot of toxicity to your life. Working on removing some of those in 2021 is going to be difficult, but it can be life-changing, and it can be one of, if not the most important way that you can focus on yourself, because you're not giving your energy to negative, bad people. Not that they're bad people, but they might be bad for you. Focus on yourself. Focus on the friendships and relationships that help you flourish, where mutually you both help each other become the person that you want to be. Number eight is create routines that help you create the life you want. I have a couple videos on my different routines throughout the year, whether that be mornings, evenings, after work routines, etc. If I don't have a routine video that you want, make sure to request it in the comments. Making routines in your days is one of the best things that you can do to start to really actually create the life you want. If you want a calmer life, then work towards creating a calm morning routine, a calm evening routine, a calm after work routine. If you currently don't really have routines that you stick to, it can be a little bit overwhelming. So a little bonus hint is to make sure you focus on just adding 1 or 2 habits at once onto those routines, rather than being like, okay, I want to do these 10 things every single morning, but you're used to just rolling out of bed every morning and going. Ease into. Number 9 is to limit the time that you think and talk about others. Gossiping is definitely part of that. It's not necessarily bad gossip, you know, talking about everyone else's accomplishments and things are great, and I'm not telling you not to celebrate your friends and your family members' accomplishments, but if you're spending hours a day talking about what everyone else is doing and thinking about what everyone else is doing, if you're spending way too much time on social media looking at what everyone else's lives look like, whether that's negative or positive, it's not you focusing on bettering yourself, and you could use that time to start working towards your own accomplishments and your own dreams instead. Number 10 is to wake up earlier in the morning. I have a blog post about this. I will link it below. I find that the earlier that you wake up in the morning, the more time in the morning you have to really focus on yourself. And for a lot of people, that's the time that you feel the most refreshed, motivated, and energized to focus on you. So give yourself your best time of the day rather than giving that time to somebody else. Number 11 is going for a walk every day. Of course, there are physical benefits of going for a walk, and not just in terms of like movement and steps, but also getting fresh air and natural sunlight. But going for a walk is also an opportunity to remove a lot of the distractions around you so you can focus on your own thoughts. It gives you the opportunity to really reflect on your day and your week and how you can work towards yourself and what did you do to work towards your dreams. I think that walks are a wonderful way to really remove yourself from distractions and the influence of others and focus on your own thoughts. 12 is another kind of bigger, overwhelming one, and that's to work on learning how to prioritize better. Prioritizing yourself is hard. It's absolutely difficult for, okay, not everyone, but for me, and I know a lot of other people will be like this as well. It is really hard to focus on myself, and I want to prioritize everyone else's happiness and what everyone else wants. So learning how to prioritize better in general helps you start to prioritize some of your own needs. And I'm not telling you to be selfish. Putting all of your time and effort into everyone else and not yourself is not focusing on yourself, and it's not going to help you get to where you want to be in life. And when you become the best version of yourself, that helps everyone else around you as well. And that's something as well, if you start prioritizing yourself, but just working daily on your to-do lists. You know, when you make your to-do list, go back through and number it in a prioritized manner, because the more you practice prioritizing things that are important to you, the more you can start to, in your daily actions, start to prioritize your life and prioritize yourself. Number 13 is to start a habit journal. I talked a little bit about before how routines, your daily routines, morning, evening, night routines, a lot of that is just adding new habits into your days. But adding those habits can be really difficult, and so a habit journal is a great way to help you track those, because when you track which days you actually do your habits, it helps remind you to actually do them, and then it helps you do them daily so that they actually become habits. For something to become a habit, you have to kind of do it somewhat second nature, and so using a habit journal can really help with that. You don't need to actually buy a habit journal. You can if you prefer that. If not, just grab a notebook, list out on your notebook the name of the habit, and then put a little mark for each day, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, through the 30th, 31st of the month. And then each day that you do it, you can highlight it in one color, and if you missed it, highlight it in another color. If you successfully did the habit, highlight it in green. Days that you missed the habit, highlight it in pink, or red would be better, but I don't have a red highlighter. That will help you start to actually form those habits. Number 14 is say 5 positive affirmations every morning. This is actually really simple, but it can be really life-changing because it can help you start to truly talk positively to yourself. And it can remind you every single morning of things that are really important to yourself, and can just start your day with your mental health and your dreams and your goals and your self-talk being a priority and focusing on yourself right away in the morning. Number 15 as a way to focus on yourself is to work on getting better sleep. You've probably heard it before that whatever percentage, a huge percentage of Americans do not get the proper amount of sleep every night, whether that be too little or too much. Either way, we aren't prioritizing getting good sleep at night. We're not doing a lot of the right things, like putting away your phone an hour before you go to bed, minimizing screen time, drinking water before bed, generally sacrificing our sleep, and oftentimes we're sacrificing our sleep for others rather than ourselves, even if that just means you're sacrificing your time looking on social media instead of getting the sleep that you need so that you can be energized the next day to work towards your dreams. Make 2021 the year that you focus on figuring out how you can get better sleep at night. 16, it seems like an obvious way to focus on yourself, but it is really important, and that is learning your work-life balance. I'm not going to tell you what your work-life balance should be because that's a deeply personal thing. I can't tell you what is the right work-life balance for you. This also kind of means a school-life balance as well. That's a little bit of a different area if you're a student, but take the time to sit down and think about where does the line in the sand get drawn for you, where you're crossing from a comfortable, happy, successful amount of work to a point where it's causing you burnout and exhaustion, and it's taking away from yourself and your life. Number 17 is a much more fun one than that, and that's picking up an old hobby or finding a new one. It is such a common phenomenon to give up on a lot of your fun, passion-filled hobbies when you either get out of high school or get out of college as an adult, or as a college student who maybe gave up on one, or even, you know what, maybe you're in high school and you had a hobby you did when you were really little and you gave up on it because you're too focused on, you know, building your resume for college applications, whatever it may be. Think about a hobby or activity that you like to do that you don't do anymore because you don't have time, that brought you a lot of joy and happiness. And it doesn't have to be a hobby could be a career or something like that. Just any hobby that brings you joy is a great way to focus on yourself. So pick it back up, commit a little bit of time to having time in your day for your hobbies and your interests and your passions. Number 18 is a really important one as well. I know I said that for a lot of them, but doing a social media audit is something that we should all be doing pretty regularly. And it is one of the most important ways to actually focus on yourself rather than focusing on others, is to go through your social media accounts and unfollow anyone who stresses you out, who doesn't bring you joy, who feels really negative, who you feel like you have to constantly compare yourself to. Unfollow them. You don't need to be following them. It doesn't help anything. If you are in your mid-20s and you have people from your hometown that post crazy things on Facebook and it stresses you out that they think like that and you feel just worried about, follow them, unfriend them. You don't need to have that in your life. Focus on yourself, focus on what you want, focus on who brings you happiness and what relationships you want to cultivate. You do not owe childhood classmates a Facebook friendship. You do not owe influencers a follow. If their content makes you feel sad in any way, unfollow. Just don't worry about it. Number 19 is to put effort into breaking bad habits. I talk a lot about the importance of forming new habits, but we haven't really talked about how important it is to break bad habits. And it's harder, honestly, for me, and I think most people, it is much harder to break a bad habit than it is to form a new positive habit. But it is so important, and it is one of the best ways that you can truly focus on yourself, is to break those bad habits. Number 20 is to learn to manage your time better. This is another one that's kind of large, and there's a lot of things that encompass underneath it, but improving your time management is going to be one of the best ways for you to make time in the day, to focus on yourself, and to work towards your dreams. I have a whole bunch of blog posts about time management. I'll link them below. I have ones like a 14-day guide on improving time management, and then I have ones for students as well. So if you are a student, I definitely recommend reading that post about how to manage your time better as a student. Last one is to stop questioning your decisions. If you're committing 2021 to being the year that you focus on yourself and creating the life you want, then you need to stop questioning your decisions. Not only are you wasting time thinking about something that you already decided on, it's making you constantly doubt yourself. You need to trust yourself. You need to have confidence in your ability to make the right decisions, and also understand that sometimes you're not going to make the right decision, and that's okay. Decision fatigue that comes around knowing that if you make a decision, you're still going to question it after is exhausting. It's hurting your mental health. It's hurting your wellness in general. And if you want to focus on yourself, you're going to have to stop questioning your own decisions, doubting yourself. Self-assurance is probably the most important way that you can really focus on yourself this year. But when you find yourself making a decision and then thinking about it later and questioning if it was right, just immediately stop yourself cold turkey right there and, do something else to distract yourself from those thoughts. Go work out, go for a walk, go, you know, even just play a game on your phone, but stop doubting yourself. You are amazing, you are incredible, and you are totally capable of making the right decisions. Alright guys, I hope that this video helped you, gave you some ideas and ways that you can focus on yourself in 2021. Let's make this an awesome year for ourselves, for each other. I know that 2020 set the bar really low, and we all have our fingers crossed that this year is going to end up being better. These 21 ways are ways that you can make it better, whether or not the overall year is better as a world. So I hope that you commit some time and effort into focusing on yourself and what you need this year. Remember that you are a priority and you are absolutely worth your own effort. Have a wonderful day. Stay safe out there. Bye guys.